they'll act that way, and then they'll go along with it and everything. But then afterwards, they'll say, "You're like you're a dirty girl," or something like that, and she'll go, "Oh, I thought that's what we do." No, God wouldn't like that. And then it's like they set up a feigned anger against the kid or something because they don't want to feel bad. They want to dehumanize this kid before they see it get killed so that they won't feel bad themselves or something. Anyway, I watched them getting eaten. I tried to help a couple times. No. They press a button and they can paralyze your clone. You just flop. And like you can still see everything. You can't move though. But yeah, they made me watch that. They made me watch all the, well, not all of them, because they missed a couple of them. But the Picton murders, he used to smash them with a hammer in the head. They used to make me watch all of those. Elizabeth really took, like, control in matters pertaining to me there, because she was acting like she was my owner, right? Because I was Mr. Special Song Guy, so she would always sit next to me and stuff. She's a camera hand. And she's literally retarded like 5 times, 5 different ways retarded. From cannibalism, from inbreeding, from traumatization, from watching these lizard things and having all this evil stuff around her whole life.
Sure. Okay, just to pick up on... Sorry, just to pick up on the Picton thing, sorry Donald, again, you've actually said that they use this Picton farm, it's used specifically to actually produce videos, horrific videos, to actually bring back to these cloning centers for a purpose there, yeah?
Yep, well, I'll tell you all about the Picton thing. They had cloned him into the place. I mean, the man is still alive, and he won't be alive very long if he starts saying something about a cloning station. Like, I don't know what's going to happen now, because with them not killing me, everybody else is gaining confidence now, and they're like, well, we want out of here now. All the celebrities and stuff, and they're like, Elizabeth's trying to threaten people into silence still, because she wants to just keep it going, because she knows she's doomed. She's going to be vilified worse than Hitler. You'll see. She says, literally there, she carries a cyanide capsule with her. They all do. All the scumbags do, because they know what's coming. They think a crowd is going to surround them and pull their arms off. Like they said, we fear being lynched in the street when this is disclosed to the public. And I said, hey, you deserve to get lynched, really. Like, you deserve way worse.
So, can I just ask you one question quickly? And don't forget what track you're on, but sorry to interrupt. Just one quick question, which people are bound to ask since we've been talking about the cloning so much. How do we know that these people, so-called royal family, Elizabeth, etc., are not just clones? And if that did ever happen, that they weren't just lynching a clone, how can we be sure of that anyway? You know, I mean, it's just so kind of confusing, isn't it?
It is very confusing, and they're always upping the technology to hide everything, right? So I'm not sure if these walk around all the time clones require a chip implant. I'm pretty sure that they do, though, unless they got past that. Like, they're always upping the technology. They used to have to use a tissue sample agitated, but now they can just use blood, and they own the Red Cross. So, like, don't donate blood. You don't want to. How can you tell if they're a clone? They will go to great lengths to cover it up. You'd have to put their cells under a microscope. Like, unless you're looking at their behavior.
You did say that one of these duplication clones, you did say that if they're not actually allowed, they don't let them out in public, so to speak, without a handler, because the way that they can react, they can actually bite people's faces off, etc., which does remind me of a news story that was very recent here a few months ago about someone attacking somebody and biting their face off.
Yep, they have a really weird psychology. They, people say the clones don't have a soul and stuff. I mean, and they don't have feelings and stuff. Me, I feel more emotional as a clone. Everybody does. It's just like the clone is using your soul, but it's flawed at the time. It's like that. They call it consciousness, not soul. But, yeah, they really fly off the deep end. Like, the REM-driven kind, everybody's pretty loopy when you're an REM-driven clone. Are you still there?
Yeah, still here, yeah.
Yeah. Everybody's pretty loopy as an REM-driven clone. It's a side effect that nobody can block, right? But when you're... Okay, when they're a reanimated dead person, right? Yeah. They're twisted. They come back kind of like the Pet Cemetery movie with Stephen King's movie. Not as bad though, and they don't rot and stuff. But they're angry all the time. They're walking around, they're looking at people, and they're saying, and they have bad side effects. One-track mind. They're not as smart anymore. They're weird now. And they're looking around at everybody having fun, and they're like, all these people don't have these impediments and side effects that I have, and they just hate the living. They're like, want everybody else to be like them, so that they're not inferior to them or something. I don't know. They kind of tap back into caveman instinct.
Sure. Okay.
They can't fix this technology. It's a flawed technology, like with a dead end. There is no fixing it. There's trying to though, but they said that they will never be able to fix it. The cells are grown too quickly or something. It takes like, well, I don't know for Mark IV and stuff, but the Mark II clones, they only take 5 months to grow. And they said it's mostly maintenance. And it doesn't even cost that much. It's just they set it to growing, and then they have to have someone maintain the tank as it's growing, and change it to different size tanks as it grows. Like Britney Spears put the cloning tanks in her video, the Break the Ice video. I made that song for her called Break the Ice. And then she was happy to put the cloning tubes in the video because she wants out of their bed. Like, she was all for it when she didn't have any money. But once she gets famous and rich and stuff, oh, I don't want to go to the cloning center anymore. And then they're like, oh, well, too bad. We own you. And she's like, well, I don't want to go on TV or anything anymore. And then they're threatening to kill her. They killed Whitney Houston for that.
I was just going to say that. That was my next question. You said that they actually killed Whitney Houston, yeah?
Yeah, and Bobby Brown knows about it. He was sitting there in the crowd crying, watching.
And what about Bernie Mac? You said something about Bernie Mac?
Yeah, he was awesome. He tried to basically save me. Spoke up for me there. He said, we can't be doing this to a human being. I've seen enough of this. This is foolishness, right? And everybody's like, well, other people started to join in with them. So Elizabeth put a stop to that real quick. They cut him up for hours. Cut him up for hours. Like, the constant pain on a clone, it's only really efficient if you use electricity, but they could just chop you and chop you and chop you for hours, clone by clone by clone, and they made everybody sit there and watch him getting chopped all up, as an example, right? And towards the end, he was cursing me out pretty bad. He did, you know, he knew he was going to die because he's seen this happen to other people before, but and they don't usually do the chop up thing over and over and over to do this to people. They usually do the electricity.
Right.
Just put a constant electrical charge on the clone and they'll die. That's what they did to Tila Tequila to give her aneurysm, but they stopped. They could have killed her easy, just kept the electricity on, but they stopped. Like, she was looking for more money.
Okay, just to stop you there, Donald, sorry, I'm going to bring David in a minute, but just before I do, can you just tell us, for people that don't know who Tila Tequila actually is, and the story there, if you wouldn't mind?
Who is she? Let's see, washed up porn star, her drug addict, half-rate celebrity that did like a bachelorette show of some kind, and then, you know, it didn't do anything else.
So what was her story with regards to this then? Was she trying to expose it at one point then? Is that what you're trying to say, yeah?
Well, the thing was, she was there for a long time, being used as a sex slave. Members of her family there, some woman named Bouchy, her cousin or something. And then, for being a good sex slave, they offered her the Shot at Love show. So she did that, did the Shot at Love show, and then she's like, okay, well, I don't want to come here anymore. And they're like, we'll give you another show. And, okay, I'll stay then. She does another Shot at Love. So then after that, she's like, yeah, well, I'm not getting any more shows. I don't want to come here anymore. And she was really outspoken. Like, she really liked to push the envelope and dare them to try to kill her, right? Because I guess she had some kind of a dead man disclosure, whatever they call it. if you die, someone picked up something. So they didn't want to kill her, but they wanted to shut her up, so gave her an aneurysm. Well, she went on a video blog or something. It's gone now, but she went on a video blog and said, "Can someone please help me?" Everybody thought that she was being like a big drug addict. She goes, "Can someone please help me? The Illuminati are blasting me into another dimension somehow. Queen Elizabeth is there, and she eats people, and there's demons there, and they follow her command, right?"
Yeah.
And that night she had an aneurysm, or was it the next night? I think it was that same night. And after that, she never said anything else.
Right. And this is brought on by the so-called electrical charges to the clone, basically, which can do that, yeah?
Yep. They just lay the clown down, attach a wire, constant electrical current, and if you're young, it takes a while. If you're old, it doesn't take that long. And they blast your brain.
Sure.
And so anyway, she came. I contacted her because I'd met her there. We'd talked about disclosing together, and all the other ones there were like looking at us like, I thought they were actually just going to kill us. They were just using us for a joke. But so she comes onto my wall there, and she's talking to me and everything, and I'm like, you gotta tell. And she's like, yeah, well, she's hinting and beating around the bush and everything. So then one night, she went on her radio blog there. This is why she stopped talking to me and stopped talking about cloning altogether. She went on her radio blog, and it was supposed to be a pre-recorded broadcast, and it was all very controlled because they're in her face there. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. Every time she falls asleep, don't you dare. So she goes on video blog, and surprise goes live and says, hey, I got to tell you guys all about these things called the cloning centers and what they do to children there. Now, they do this and that and the other thing, and she said, she called it going on blast. That night when she went to sleep, she got a bunch of Vril lizards up in her face and said, you are going to get us eradicated. Anyway, she was pretty scared. She says she's fearless, and no, everybody's scared of these things. Instinctual fear. After that, she unfriended me on Facebook. It was right after her cloning radio show. Like, I have it on my Facebook wall. She tells all about it. It was the first time any celebrity did. It was like unprecedented. So then she got threatened bad that night, and they said that they would bite her to death and then reanimate her after death and bite her and bite her and bite her. So she's like, you're on your own, Donnie. And I was like, come on. I've been bitten by the things before. Take a couple bites, save the world. And she's like, no, I can't be doing that, no. And she went back and sat down in the stands. But, and, yeah, totally blocked me. Doesn't want nothing to do with me now. Doesn't talk to me. Won't answer messages, nothing.
Sure,
everybody thought that I was like, everybody was thinking I was attracted to her or something. I'm not. She stabbed me at that place. I really don't like her that much.
Well, you wouldn't if she'd done that, I don't think.
She doesn't have anything there to talk about or show off about. Like, she can stand up and look at everybody else and say, hi, I'm Tila Tequila, and you go, yeah, who the hell are you? And but then she was playing my love interest for a short time at the cloning center, right? And she doesn't even like me. Like, she doesn't like anybody. She likes herself. But she was playing along so that she'd have some reason to speak and feel like a celebrity there. So she was bothering me for a while. But and then we kind of talked behind the scenes. I was like, look, if you help me, I won't like sue you terrible, because I plan to sue so many people. It's going to be disgusting. And it even says in this Nostradamus prophecy that they follow that the savior of the world comes back and saves the world with truth, and sues all of the corrupt lords and performers for legal recompense more than anyone else has in the history of the world. And right. they're all going...
You're saying that's something they follow, which is rather ironic in a way.
They follow it major, only because other things from it have happened, right?
Right, okay.
So, like, they follow it big time. Like, they have a mixed-matched religion, Luciferianism, Hopi Indian prophecy, Nostradamus prophecy, Revelations, and something else.